Okay, we talked about the categories of data collection. First-party data collection is data that is collected directly from the organization that you work with. And also remember that no organization will want to release their data to any third party, and then to even their staff, because you may not know what intentions the third party or the staff. So even data that will be released to any staff, that staff must be there must be trust. Okay, and then another aspect of data collection as regarding the categories, the second party data collection, which is data that is being shared by another organization about its customers. Okay, and I also talked about, I mentioned that the other organizations could be subsidiaries of the mother organization. All right, just for instance, you have let me use Tony Elumelu, for instance. He's a company, I think Hairs Group. Hairs Group, UBA is under Hairs Group, and you have Hairs Oil and Gas and the rest of them. So those are subsidiaries under the Hairs Holdings or so. Okay, and those subsidiaries can actually share data. And then you also have third-party categories. So these guys are people that you can actually, third parties you can actually get information from that are not part of your team one or your organization. Okay, I also mentioned about you can buy phone number database. Okay, you can actually buy it. It's there, it's online. It can be bought, you can buy it. You can as well buy SMS. Okay, so those data are from a third party. And then we also looked at methods of collection of data, collection. I'm just going through what we looked at. And I think we have just one person that didn't join us last Wednesday. Okay, so we talked about the methods of data collection, which we also looked at. Survey is one aspect of collecting data. Okay, transactional tracking is another method, and then there are a lot of methods, but we just looked at the two major methods of data collection. And we also talked about data cleaning. When you collect data, you have to clean them. Data that you didn't prepare yourself, data that you didn't fill yourself, you have to check it. Okay, you have to check it and then clean it as well. So we talked about data cleaning or cleansing, any of the term, it's okay. It's also referred to as data scrubbing. Another aspect of data cleaning, it's also called data scrubbing. Okay, so data cleaning is a process we talked about, fixing incorrect, incomplete, duplicate, or otherwise erroneous data. And then we also looked at the tasks in data cleaning, which we talked about removing major errors, removing unwanted data points, bringing structure to your data, filling in major gaps. And then we also looked at tools for data cleaning, which I pointed out to us about OpenRefine, which is an open source that we can actually use. Open source, any application that is open source is actually free, 100% free. And then we talked about Power Query, which we can find in Power BI. And then you can also find Power Query on Excel. You can find it on Excel. Okay, and then another tool for data cleaning, which is WinPure Clean and Match, although this services is not free. Okay, so, but you can actually make use of the other OpenRefine and Power Query. And then somebody asked a question about if the data you're using, making use of on the other third-party applications, just like the Win, and then the other one, if they are safe. And I also talked about, it depends on the information. If the data if you're working in an organization, you may not be allowed to make use of third-party or cracked or unlicensed application. Okay, applications that are not licensed, you may not be allowed to use those applications to work with, okay, because of privacy, data privacy. And I also encourage us to always read the EULA of every application. EULA is End User License Agreement. Almost 99% of Nigerians don't read that. Almost 99% of Nigerians don't read that agreement. What we just do is you click on the agreement and then you install. You don't know what they're going to make, if they're going to sell the data that you are actually giving out. So today we will quickly look at data structure. And like I said, everything we are looking at, or all the theories, aspects, a data analyst must definitely know how to make use of the tool. For every organization, if you're not making use of, in fact, no data analyst that calls himself a data analyst that will not know how to make use of Power BI, Tableau, Google Lookup. So all these, that which is the major tool, all right? Because after analyzing your data, you must definitely tell a story. And how do you tell that story is by visualization, okay? For any interview you go to, after the interview, they will definitely give you that visualization, data visualization software or application to practice or to show what you can actually do. So we will be looking at, I'll be sharing my screen on the data structure for tonight. Please, can we see the screen?
Yes, sir, I can see this screen.
Yes, I can see the screen.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so very much. Now, data structures. Data as a whole has structures. All right. So we want to see what are data structures. The data that you'll be analyzing, the stories that you'll be telling, they all have different structures. All right, so quickly, data structures are formats for organizing, processing, retrieving, and storing data. So it can be easily accessed and then effectively used. Okay, data structures are formats for organizing, processing, retrieving, and storing data. Now, every organization have their mode of, or rather, every organization have their formats for which they organize their data, for which they process, and for which they retrieve and then they store their data. Some organizations that uses Excel, there are some organizations that uses Excel, and then there are some that do not use, some uses Oracle, and then the rest of other applications, okay? So it depends on the company that you are working with or the job. So if you're working in any organization that is deal on big data, they will definitely have the formats for which they organize and then process, retrieve, and store their data, which it will be made known to the data analysts. Okay, and then there are several basic and advanced data structured, and then they are created to arrange data to make it useful for a specific purpose. Now, data that is, or rather, data is arranged for a specific purpose. Okay, data structures are also created to arrange data to make it useful for a specific purpose. And then at their core or fundamental, at their core, data structures are intended to frame information in a way that makes the information clear and easily accessible to both humans and machines. Also note that machines can actually analyze data, right? Machines can actually analyze data. If you are going to go deep into data science, okay, you will have to also deal with machine learning, all right? There's also another aspect of data analysis, which you deal with. You use algorithms and then you program the system to actually analyze data itself. Okay, so the data structures are intended to frame information, right? So in a way that makes information clear and easily to for both humans to access and machines. Now, there are two kinds of data, two kinds. There are about 4 types, but there are 2 kinds of data. You have the structured and unstructured data, structured and unstructured data. So what are their basic differences, okay, for structured data and unstructured data? Now, the primary difference between the two is that structured data is defined and searchable, while unstructured data is contained in its native form. Now, the bullet points will explain more better. So for structured data, data is, or rather structured data is quantitative, while unstructured data is qualitative. Quantitative is in terms of numerics, you can actually count. And then while qualitative deals with text, okay, deals with text. And then structured data is stored in data warehouse, while unstructured data is contained in data lakes. Now, data warehouse is a very big storage of data in an organization, okay? For instance, you have this UPS, not the uninterrupted, okay, let me use DHL. You know, there is UPS, there is a DHL, and these are courier service guys. They deal with data, okay? And then you also have some big supermarkets that also deal with data. The products that they have in their stores, in their shops, they have inventory of all those products. The same with those courier organizations, okay? The delivery, parcel delivery organizations, they have a large form of data storage. So data that is stored in a data warehouse, it's being stored so that it can be retrieved and used immediately. It can be accessed by the organization. And for instance, if you are trying to deliver any product or a goods to outside the country, you can actually track that goods, and then until when it gets to its destination. All right. Tracking the goods, you're not actually tracking it. What you are using to track it is a number. Now, the moment you register it, that number, that goods will be tagged, and then it's being stored in their data warehouse, so that should in case there is any challenge, the company will definitely have to go back to their records. Okay, the same thing with supermarket, big supermarkets, and then some other big companies, like, for instance, again, the network providing companies, MTN, Glo, the rest of them. Our numbers, your mobile number that you have is being stored in a data warehouse, and it can be retrieved. Okay, if the number is not being used, that number can be retrieved and then it's being registered to someone else. Now, for unstructured data that is contained in data lakes. Now, data lakes, it's like a repository, is still another aspect of storage, that everything about text is being stored, just like the SMS, okay, emails that we send. All right, so they are all stored in data lakes. And then structured data can be immediately analyzed, while unstructured data requires processing and then transformation. So the data that you have in your data warehouse, like I explained earlier, it can be analyzed immediately because it is structured. Okay, so for instance, if you have a list of attendees of a program, maybe you have the number of males, the number of females, their account numbers, maybe what's the amount of, if they had any subscription, the amount. If you have those information, you can quickly analyze because it's structured. You can quickly analyze and then you get the results because it is structured. And then unstructured data that requires processing and transformation. For instance, a survey, okay? A survey, when you give people information, forms to fill, they should talk about reviews, all right, about products you have to process, and then before you transform and then analyze the data. So structured data follows predefined formats, while unstructured data comes in many different formats. Okay, structured data follows predefined formats, while unstructured data comes in many different formats. Just like the pictures, you have pictures, videos, they are unstructured data. All right, so we'll look at the examples. Okay, so examples of structured and unstructured data. So for unstructured data comes in various formats. Like I've just said, this includes images, audio, video. Like this class now that is being recorded is an unstructured data. Okay, spreadsheet, word process, a document. Okay, and then for structured data, you have the dates and time because they are specific. You have your cell phone numbers, social security numbers for, I don't know if in Nigeria if we have social security numbers. Okay, banking and transaction information, BVN, customer names. Customer names is also structured data, postal addresses, email addresses, product price, serial number, and then etc. There are a lot of them. Okay, so these are the different, or rather the examples of structured and unstructured data. So for every image, audio, video, spreadsheet, and maybe word processing, processed documents, they all fall under the categories of unstructured data. Okay, so we'll now be looking at the types of data structures. Now, why this is coming up now is because you get more explanatory of these data structures when we begin to play around with the data on the Power BI. Okay, we will get to have more explanations. All right, so there are about 4 types of data structures, about 4 types of them that I've listed here. And then number 1 is a linear data structure, 3 data structures, hash table, and then graph data structure. So for linear data structures include arrays or finite groups of data with memory locations that allow elements to be accessed through an index key and linked lists. So linked lists other elements within a list so they can be sporadically placed within memory. Now, if you can see the image below, you have linear data structure and then non-linear data structure. Like I've said, when we begin to practice with our Power BI, we will see more of these data structures. Okay, so another type of data structure, like I've mentioned, the 3 data structures. So 3 data structures are hierarchical and present a root value with subset of children. Now, let me ask a question. Who can give example of there is this system that came and crashed. I don't want to call the name so that we don't get the answer easily. Okay, so using the 3 data structure, can we remember that scheme?
MMM.
Correct. It's like you did it too. Okay. So MMM, one person brings another person, and then the other person brings 2 more persons. All right. So that is a 3 data structure. Okay, hierarchical, and then present a root value for subset of children that are represented as linked nodes. All right. So the other type of data structure, hash tables data structure. Hash tables map keys to values abstracted by additional behaviors through the use of high-level programming languages. So if you're going into machine learning, all right, machine learning, you'll be dealing a lot with hash tables data structure. Okay, and then the graph data structure are implemented through graph theory principles, utilizing nodes and edges to weigh graphs and represent the directional flow of networks. Now, all these have to deal with the type of data that you are working with, all right, of which we are going to practice on the different types of structures. We're going to practice using, I think I have data that will suit in for all of them, so that whenever you meet, if you're analyzing any of the data, whenever you meet maybe a data that needs a graph data structure, you can actually analyze it, and then you may have a one for linear, non-linear, hash, and then 3. You can easily analyze the data. And then lastly, data structures and algorithm. What is the difference? The difference between data structures and algorithms. Okay, if you'll be dealing with more of algorithms in machine learning, okay, but for now, data structures and algorithms are entirely different concepts, okay, different concepts of analyzing data. Data structures represent the data relationships and then provide methods of sorting and assessing the data effectively. And then on the other hand, algorithms are detailed set of instructions that computer software, web pages, programs, and hardware used to complete tasks. All right, if you're developing an application, maybe either a desktop application or a mobile application, you will definitely have to deal with algorithms, programs, okay? You have to program the software on what it's going to do, its functions, as well as the web pages, okay, and also hardware. I believe we all have heard of robotics is in existence, so you also program robots, okay? You can as well program you can as well program using algorithm or any of the programming language, for instance, Python, R, and the rest of them in data analysis, okay? You can actually do that as well. So algorithms are well-defined finite sequences of instructions you can implement with computational systems to reach a repeatable goal. So if you have a particular data, maybe the data is just consistent, the same information that is coming in, maybe, for instance, staff login, clocking rather. Staff come in the morning, employees of an organization comes in the morning, and then they clock in. They go, when they are closing, they clock in. You can actually program a system that will, for the system to be iterating. When they come in the morning, they clock in, it takes the time, and then when they are closing, they clock out, it takes the time. So that is, you program the system to just give you the analysis of what is happening. So you don't need to be retrieving data and then analyzing data. You just simply do that, and that's under data analysis experience. That's the programming aspect of data analysis. Okay, so any question? I think we will end here for data structure before we go into, because I really want us to, the main thing that we need to learn is how to play around with the Power BI. So I really want us to look into that. But before we go further, please, any question? Please, how many of us have installed the application? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, how many of us have installed the Power BI application? Okay, Olajide has installed. Olajide, do you have a question?
Oh, I'm just indicating that I've installed it.
Okay. Okay, please, let's indicate if you've installed it. Hello? Is it only Olajide that has installed?
I've not installed it. I will install soon. Hello, sir.
Payment has come in. You know,
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
people to be able to order and pay.
Yeah.
So we don't know what is actually.
I can't give you one thing.
So I've installed it.
You've installed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please let's try as much as possible to install on our devices. Okay. All right, so I'm going to. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen for. Okay, please, can we see the screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the Power BI application that will be playing around for the next class, for the rest of the class. And this is where all the magic is being done. So when you hear data analysts, you see the reports that is being presented or online on the news. This is one of the applications that is being used in telling those stories. Okay, so I believe if you have installed it, you will definitely have this kind of integrated development environment, right? For those of us that have installed it, those of us that have installed it, is it the same as yours? Let's know if I have a different one.
Yes, it's the same thing.
Okay. Okay, so now on the top where you have after the menu bar, you have the home, insert, modeling, and then the rest of view, optimize, help. Okay, that's where you have the menu bar. And then the next items or icon that you have here, it's the ribbon. Okay, you have the ribbons where all of this is either you're importing data from Excel or any other source. All right. And then this is where you add data to make a report. Okay. You can add data import data from Excel. You can import data from SQL Server. You can import data from Power BI data sets, data flows, data vars, SQL Server, analysis services, CSV. CSV is another aspect of Excel sheets. You can also import data from the web. Okay, you can import data. Someone is asking a question. Oh, Doc, Yours is different. Hello, Doc, please, is yours different? Oladide, please go ahead.
Right, please, can I insert, can I extract data or import data from our this R program also? You know about R program?
Yes, you can.
Okay, is it gonna, I'm not seeing the options here.
More,
Or
more. If you click on more,
okay.
more. If I've just clicked on the more now, but if you can import data from what they call it, Python. Okay, all you just
Okay.
need to do is to save it, and then you can import from a whole lot of. This is R script here.
R scripts. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yes, Python.
Then-
You can ODB. You can import from any data source. Doctor, please, we want to know your challenge. You said it's not the same as yours. Dr. Murray, can you hear me, please? Hello? Okay, I think doctor will get back. I'll get back to him shortly. Okay, so we can see the various sources and how we can actually import data from them, right?
Yes, we can.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to quickly have an example, and then, in fact, we will continue with the class until I want to get okay, let me use amazing. One of the data I sent to us, we're going to import it now. All right. So I'm importing data from Excel. I'm importing data from Excel. So as a data analyst, you're making use of Power BI. You're not making use of Excel. All right. Power BI is more flexible to Excel. So that's why you can bring in data from Excel into Power BI. I'm going to open one of these data that I shared to you, and then I'm going to share my screen to show you something quickly, and then I'll come back to Power BI. I'm trying to open the Excel sheets so that I can show us something, an example, and then we go back. Okay, I'm sharing my screen right away. Okay, can we see the screen, please? Can we see the screen, the Excel sheet?
Yes, we can.
Okay, please.
Yes,
Yes, sir. We can.
Okay. Now, if you are to if we are to analyze this data here, remember hello?
I can't see you. I've not seen.
Yo, Please, if you cannot see, let me know so that I can. Is it only Chioma that can see? Please, let's respond. Is it only Chioma that can see this screen that I've just shared?
I can see the screen.
Let's see.
Okay. Okay. Okay, it's up now. All right, so for this data, all right, Amazing Math EU2 Geo. Is that what we are seeing on our screen? Amazing Math EU2 Geo.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay, fine. So if you are to analyze this data now, let's say, for instance, this is I think it's a supermarket, because Math is should be a shop. All right, and then you have on the heading order ID, order dates, customer name, city. Okay, this could be maybe a shipping or a correct website, organization rather. So where you have shipping mode, economy, priority, and the rest of them, and then you have the states, you have the segments, region, country, city, and the rest of them. Now, if the company where you work with, for instance, you are being required to definitely to give out to tell a story about the number of ship mode, and then the number of segments, and then maybe the city, which city is being shipping more products than the other one. So you may not be able to do that immediately. All right, not that you wouldn't do it, but you may not be able to do it immediately and easily. All right, because of the amount of information data that we have here. And then remember, you don't even know if the data is clean or not. You're being given the data. All right, and then we have about 4,118 lists of people, okay, that have made use of the shipping mode. 4,118 customers that had transaction of business. So how do we know immediately, the highest number of shipping modes? How do we know which region had the highest number of, or which region is doing very well in terms of shipping mode? How do we know the city that these customers are actually booking shipping mode or shipping their products? All right, so that is remember, the first thing I want to ask the question, before you analyze the data, what is the first thing that you do? I'm asking a question, please. We're about
Clean the data.
No,
Clean it.
you don't clean the data. For every process of data analysis, every process of analyzing the data,
Organize it.
okay, or does anyone have an answer to that? This is a data now that has been presented to you as a data analyst. All right, and then please, can we hear me? If you can hear me, just raise your hands. Okay, or you can say, you can hear on, you can send a chat. Okay. Now, before you analyze any data, I said you have to do some things. Before you analyze any data, you have to do some things. Okay, to save our time, before you analyze any data, you have to define the objectives. You will have to define the objectives of that data. All right? You don't just, they don't, like, for instance, this information we have before us now, the data we have before us, you're being given the data. So what are you cleaning the data for? What are you cleaning? What do you want to analyze? So you have to define the objective. Defining the objective, you definitely ask the question of, because you want to know the problem that you want to solve or you're about solving. All right, so defining the objective, okay? And then the moment you've defined the objective, yes, the objective of this data, about this data we're about to analyze, is that we are having issues about the ship mode, about the regions, okay? We want to know which region is using more of the types of ship modes that we have, okay? Which region that customers are using the more of shipping mode, all right? Which region, which city do we have more customers? Okay, which city do we have more customers that make use of the shipping mode? Because there's an issue, the organization is experiencing that, or that in a particular, in some of the regions, they're experiencing low shipping mode. And then they don't want to spend more money into such regions, all right? They want to know if the shipping mode in that particular region, or if there are customers in a particular region that they can actually okay, good one, Chioma. Okay, Chioma says, as an analyst, it is the duty of the organization to outline the objectives. Yes. So that's why I said you have to define the objectives by asking questions. So the organization will definitely outline the challenges they are having, all right? They'll outline the challenges they are having, okay? Or they outline the objectives, the solution they want to have, or they may know the problem, but they want to find out where the problem is coming from, okay? Since this Amazing Maths company is not just in Germany or in the United Kingdom, they are spread all over Europe. So they want to use this information now to get to know what is happening to the ship mode. Okay, so and then the second aspect is you collect, you source for the data, you collect data from the various data sources, either from your organization, which is among the first party, or you can collect from a second party or a third party in terms of a data collection. And then the moment you collect the data, you begin to clean, because now you know the objectives that has been outlined. Okay, you know the objectives that has been outlined. All right, please, any question? Because we are going back to Power BI. Any question, please? Do you have any question?
Hello, sir.
Go ahead, please.
I don't know. I'm having this small confusion
Okay.
in the data collection.
Okay.
The data collection. You know, this is a first part. Let's say that organization A is having this challenge. Will the data you now collect from second party solve their problem? I don't know. I'm just having this confusion.
Okay.
Because when you talk about a second party data collection and stuff, can it now solve the problem of first party in a company? I don't know.
Now, most of the time, it's you're presenting a solution or telling a story to the board or the management. All right. Now, for instance, let me use ABC Bank. Okay. ABC Bank from the first, we are in the fourth quarter, I'll call it now, from September. All right. For the first quarter, they had a lot of transactions, and then they had more people coming to open accounts with the bank, and then they have more people coming to deposit than withdrawal. Okay. And then in the second quarter, they realized that the persons that are opening account has reduced, which is a major problem in any bank, right? And then in the third quarter, they also realized that people are withdrawing more. One, people are not opening an account, or people are not opening accounts, and then also people are not depositing cash. All right, so the bank in the first quarter experienced more accounts being opened, also experienced more deposits and low withdrawal, which banks love to have. And then in the second quarter, they also experienced another wave where customers coming into the bank to open an account dropped, all right? And then in the third quarter, they also experienced customers are not opening accounts, people are withdrawing more than depositing. Now, in the fourth quarter, the management will definitely meet because they are running at a loss. Any bank that have more customers withdrawing than customers coming to deposit, they will definitely sit to check what is the problem, right? I want us to respond because yes.
We are together. We are together, yes, sir.
Okay. So in the fourth quarter, there's a big problem from the management because boards and management, they sit, all right? Now, the job of the data analyst is this. The board or the management have sat down and then they've noticed a problem. Remember, there is a particular department called marketing department, and the job of the marketing department is to see that the bank is being marketed, every good thing about the bank, good objectives, goals about the bank is being marketed to the public for people to come and transact business, to come and open more accounts, right? Yeah. So is it that the problem, is it that the marketing department is not functioning any longer? Is it that the publicity team in the bank is not publicizing the bank, right? Because for every information, every data, the more people coming to open an account, they will definitely notice the drop down in the data. It tells every transaction in the bank, whether you open an account, you withdraw, you deposit, it's automatically stored, all right? So this information will be given to the data analysts. It is not the data analysts, or rather, let me put it this way. The data analysts will definitely, there will be a communication between those departments. Just like another instance again, HR, companies at the end of the year always appraise and then reward staff from January to December, okay? So if they want to do an appraisal, The HRO will release data of staff. Okay? You understand? Choma?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. HRO will release data to data analysts, and then also specifying the objective, the aim of the goal, their goal. Now, where that goal is not being stated or outlined, the data analysts will definitely ask the question, will definitely want to define the objective, want to define the goal of the data that they are going to analyze, because you don't just collect data and then begin to analyze. What are you analyzing? You understand?
Yeah.
You get me, please? You understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm responding.
So it will be made known to you that this is what we want to achieve. We are having issues. We want to know where the problem is coming from. Which person, because for the bank, the marketing department will definitely, for every month, I think they are being given quota. For every time their quota will elapse, they will definitely come in with an information data that, yes, for this month, we have reached out to 100 persons and they have come to open an account with the bank. Okay, so for that data, the bank will also want to look out for how many people open an account with the bank in August that has passed. The marketing department was given a target of 100 persons, but only 50 has opened an account. Then the marketing department will definitely answer a query. We'll be given a query and they will answer that query. And how will they get that query? How will they know? It's from the data, the results, the stories that the data analyst will give, okay? And then if the data analyst does not do his job well by analyzing the data properly, the data analyst will give a wrong story or wrong results, will translate the data wrongly, and then a wrong information or a wrong decision will be taken. So the position of the data analyst is very, very vital and very important in any organization. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. So we are going to import data we'll do one example, and then from Wednesday, we'll be firing on the practical. So how do we import data from Excel, okay, or from any source? Now we are importing since we have our data on Excel, we are importing from Excel. So either you click on your dashboard where you have import data from, we can see the mouse pointer, or you come over to the ribbon where you have Excel workbook. Okay, you can either click here, import data, or from here. Okay, so I've just selected. So I'm going to where the file that we are going to make use of this evening is. Where do we have Amazing Maths? Sorry, let me just brought this data now. Okay. All right, so you go to where you have the data and then you import. You select it and you import. All right, so for the data it has not been imported fully. All right. Now, we said you collect the data. You can collect the data on any storage device, okay? Data could be on Excel, it could be on Python or R or every other source. You can source data directly from the website, just like Jumia. We will do that to Jumia, Amazon, eBay, any of those e-commerce web application. They can actually source for data. So we are only picking the first sheet, all right, list of orders. Now I'm going to load this data directly. Why I'm loading it? Because the data is clean. If the data is not clean yet, you just collected it, it's not clean. Remember, we said collecting after you've defined your objective, you've known what the problem is. All right, you've collected the data, you've imported it. If the data is clean already, you load it directly. If it's not clean, you can click on transform data. Now, transform data, remember, we also looked at tools that you can make use of, that you can use in cleaning data. And we talked about one of the tools in Power BI, which is Power Query, all right, which is Power Query. So this is the environment of the Power Query, all right? This is the environment. So you can actually clean your data here. One of the classes we will also look on how we can clean. I'll get a data that is not clean, and then we will clean it then before we import it. So the data is clean. So we are just going straight to close and then apply. So we are importing the data now into okay, what is the problem? Just a moment. Just a moment, please. I'm trying to restart the power. Okay, I'm trying to restart my Power BI. Power BI restarts. Okay, it's coming up back. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen back. So we go back straight. import data. Amazing maths. Please, so I'm loading straight ahead. Okay, so it's now loading the data. All right, so we are done loading the data. Okay, now we can see by, hello? We can see by far left, you can see the, let's say the columns of the list of orders, city, country, customer name, and then the order ID, region, segment, and the rest of them, the tables. You can see the data there, and then you also have visualization. Now we want to analyze the ship mode, okay? The ship mode against the region. All right, now in Power BI, you have visualizations, all right, tools that you can use to build the visuals, where you have stacked. On Wednesday, we will look at all of them, their functions. You have stacked bar charts, stacked column charts, clustered bar chart, and then the rest of them. All right, they all have their various use, okay, depending on what you want to achieve, the information you want to get, the objective you want to reach, okay, the problem you want to solve. So, for instance, let's look at, let's use the, okay, let's just select stacked bar charts. I've just clicked on stacked bar charts now, and then we want to plot the ship mode against the region. So on the y-axis, okay, and then the x-axis. So we have the ship mode against the region. Now, from this, we can actually tell which of the ship mode is actually doing well in the various regions, right? Please, can we see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So with just this now, this graph that we've just plotted, okay, we've now seen that on the region where you have the keys for region, central is blue, the northern region is light, or rather central is light pink, light blue. The northern region is blue itself.
Dark blue.
It's what? Ladies know colors now. We will just, I know this is blue, and this other one is either dark blue, okay?
Yeah.
All right, and then this for the south is orange. All right, so on the various bar charts, we can now see that for economy, you can actually see the ship mode economy, the region, central, and then which is central is actually doing very well, followed by northern, followed by economy. All right, followed by that. Now, if we use another, we can make use of another visual to, let's move this to one side. We can make use of another visual to get, using pie charts now. So there is no specific visual that you need to use to tell your story. All right, there's no specific visual that you need to use in telling your story. All they just need is the information. Ship mode. Okay. Now we can see for pie charts. Okay, Abiola is saying his is giving options to load, transform buttons. Now you have to check, Abiola, check top left, you have to check one of those sheets. All right, you have to check one of those sheets. Have you seen it? Hello, Abiola, let's hear from you. Okay. All right. So Abiola is actually practicalizing right away. Please, let's practice. All right. So I think we should be rounding off very soon. Okay. So we can see now we have two charts. One is a pie chart. Another one is the bar chart. Yes. So there are other types of charts that we can actually use in getting this information. Okay. Now, I've also adjusted the bar chart again. Now we can tell that for region, central region, north region, and south region, we can see that for a cumulative, to get a cumulative result, we can see that central region has more ship mode than every other region. All right. So for your charts, you have to learn how to design it in your own way. There is no specific way of you modeling or designing or telling the story. All right, there's no specific way. So with just these two charts, we've been able to tell what is happening. All right, we've been able to tell. Now, if we also look at plot one more last chart, let's say we want to make use of the funnel. We are going to get to know what they all do. Let's look at a customer, not customer name. Okay, let's look at state. All right. State and then ship mode. No, let's region. Okay, now these are the four types of shipping mode we can see. For economy is the highest, followed by economy plus priority and then immediate. Okay, so these are the four types of ship mode. Now, if maybe the company has been experiencing low performance of immediate ship mode, with this analysis, it will be very easy for them to make any decision they want to make, right? Abby? Okay. So we are going to, and then please don't forget to save the your file. All right. Always save, just like when you're typing, you have to save your documents. All right. So don't forget to save, and then save as, and you give it a particular, you title it. All right. So any question, please? Any question, please? Hello?
Hi, we are here.
I'm asking if there's any question.
I don't know, like, hello, can I ask?
Go ahead.
So now, these charts, have they been able to determine what the issue in the organization is really about?
The issue they had regarding this chart is that the management is experiencing low patronage of immediate shipping mode. Customers, they notice that customers are not using, or rather, they are experiencing a shortage of low shipping mode, but they don't know the particular one. Okay? They don't know the particular shipping mode that is low. All right? In terms of patronage, in terms of customer using that particular package. And then they don't also know the region that is doing very well. The manager for Central Region is sending a report that they are doing very well. Manager for Northern Region, the same thing. Manager for Southern Region says is the best. So how do we know who is the best? From these reports now, how do we know which region is doing very well? Is a question I'm asking to Chioma.
I think the economy is obviously showing it's doing well. Happy?
No, you're seeing it. It's not, you're seeing it there. So
But sorry, but the turnover, can the turnover also show that a region is not doing well?
look at it now. All the information is there. I've just said that for the regions, we have Central, North, and South. These three regions, general managers are saying they are the best. All right. Central manager is saying he sold 1 million. Northern region is saying he sold 1 million. South is saying 1 million. So how do we know who is doing very well?
Okay.
From the reports, what are you seeing? Who is doing very well from the reports?
The Central.
Very good. And then the same thing for the ship mode. You have economy, economy plus, priority, and immediate. Now, they don't know which of these shipping mode is doing very well. And then because they don't want to invest wrongly, they want to invest in the one that is the whole customers are, or a lot of customers are patronizing. So from the charts, which one is doing properly, is doing very well that they need to invest more in?
The economy.
Very simple. So as the charts solve the problem,
Yeah.
straight and forward. Is it difficult?
Well, I won't say until I'm able to do the practicals.
Okay.
Yeah. Until
Okay.
I'm able to use the chart and play around with the tools.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question, please?
Next week, before we dive into a fresh outline, we would have a revision on this topic so that
We are continuing. We are not going into any other new. We are continuing from Power BI. We are now practicing.
okay.
Yeah, but with different data, different information, solving different problems.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is the end thing for every data analyst. If you say you're a data analyst, if you can't translate this to the board or to any management or to your boss, then the person is not ready yet.
Okay, so someone has to learn either Excel or this Python stuff.
The Power BI, that's the major focus. Well, Excel is
Excel is what?
Excel is easy too to learn.
Yeah, I see. I think
Okay.
it's okay. It's fine. We'll call it night.
Uh,
Abi?
Yeah.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So
The others are wait for the letter.
okay. So at the absence of any other question, I want to appreciate also our time. Agagi GP, good evening, sir. Any question from you?
So I'm totally probably because so that's one. But I wish you could send us this teaching tonight and the methods with which you have used to arrive at these charts, so that before Wednesday next week, maybe one would have been able to play around it to get to this level before the next teaching. I'll be very grateful if I will be able